Hola, hombres y mamacitas, to another thrilling episode of Program with Coach Drew James. This is your host, Jeremy Jones. We are talking about Week 18, Cinco de Mayo, Friday, May 5th. So we've got a practice context here. We're doing some shoulder mobility, and then we're going to spend 10 minutes working up to a challenging squat clean plus front squat. So we've got a little complex here. You know, people should be working up to about 80%, 90% of their max. And one thing I'll point out with these percentages is it's really rate of perceived effort. So if they're not feeling it that day, they might not go as heavy. If they're feeling good, they may go heavier than the percentage, closer to 90%. But it's ultimately they want to work up to a challenging weight. 10 minutes is not enough time for most people, especially more advanced athletes, to really get close to their max. But we want to make sure that we're providing some strength stimulus. The reason why I include these barbell complexes is obviously to work on technique and skill, but it is a little bit of strength stimulus. So we're not doing a strength lift that day, but we are going to provide a little bit of strength work on a day when we have a longer metcon. It's just, you know, the strength plus short metcon. We don't want to do that every day. So this is kind of a little bit of strength work and then a longer metcon, and it gives us a chance to set up for later on workouts where we're doing similar movements. Now the people who want more volume or more cardio or whatever, they should be doing on the minute. So they're going to do 2 reps on the minute for 6 minutes. And then obviously we're not doing a strength or superset. And then we've got Cindy. I just called it Cinco de Cindy because it's Cinco de Mayo. But I'm a California kid, and I grew up in this area, and I love the whole Mexican culture and Mexican food, and I can't imagine a world without this sort of influence in my life. So if you guys aren't celebrating Cinco de Mayo, then you guys are missing out. So we've got a 20-minute AMRAP, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. This is the typical Cindy. You want to make sure you talk about the pull-up. Maybe give some people some strategies to approach this correctly. You know, a lot of people, the push-ups end up being the hardest movement. We tend to see a lot of bad form on the push-ups on these later as the rounds go on later on. So you might want to really, you know, clarify what a legit push-up is, where the entire body is hitting the ground at the same time. You know, thighs, you know, hips, chest, and they all leave the ground at the same time, because we see a lot of worming on this. So let's keep people legit. Don't let them flare their elbows out to the side and kind of trash their shoulders. We want to make sure their elbows are at a 45, like a V, looking from overhead, or right next to their ribs. Now, if they have to start breaking that up, that's fine. They might do, 5 pull-ups and then 5 push-ups, rest, and then 5 push-ups and then 15 air squats, 5 pull-ups, rest. If they can kind of connect it that way, that'll help kind of break up the push-ups, but they can still keep moving. Using that strategy, it's easy actually to get over 20 rounds if somebody can maintain the pace for the entire time. Now, we've got a couple additional options here. We've got a team version and the Murph version. So the team version is kind of fun. It's just a way to kind of, again, make it different, make it more interesting. Now, if 2 people want to pair up, if they do a complete round while their partner rests, if somebody's only going to get 11, 12 rounds, they need the rest anyway. So if you have them pair up, you might have 2 partners get 11, 12, 13 rounds. It's still RX, right? So they can do a partner version. They can still log it as the RX Cindy as long as they do complete rounds. But instead of kind of resting in the middle of the set, they also go a little bit faster and then rest in between sets. The other thing is Murph. So we got Murph coming up in a couple of weeks, and the idea here is they would, if you have the weight vests, they can wear your weight vest, or if they want to bring their own in, which is what I recommend, because weight vests in gyms tend to get really gnarly and sweaty and gross. But if they're planning on doing Murph, I would encourage people to bring their weight vest or whatever they want to do Murph in, and then instead of doing the 20-minute AMRAP, they do no running. They just do the 20 rounds with the 20-pound vest. So that should still take them around 20 minutes, maybe longer, maybe a little bit less. So that's excuse me. That's another version to help them set up for help them get ready for Murph that's coming up in a few weeks, and it's great because it fits right in with the rest of the programming. We've got the compare to, if you guys are using me on the whiteboard, this is a link to be on the whiteboard for them, to check the results or compare themselves to the rest of the thousands of people that have done Cindy over time. And then we don't have a cash out for today, but should be pretty spicy. A lot of people get really sore from this workout, and that's one of the reasons why I don't program it as often as Fran or Helen or things like that, is because Sydney tends to be a soreness-inducing workout when you start getting in that 15, 20, 25 round range. So this might be good to point that out to people, but make sure people are logging this somewhere, whether it's in their phone, they take a picture of their score, if it's on Sugar Watt or Train Heroic or Beyond the Whiteboard. This is one of the days that we want to make sure people log the workout, because this is an important benchmark, so they can track progress over the years. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot, and thrive on.